All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's recap week 3. Okay, so right now when you run the code, okay, you should see that your little sprite there scurries over to the bus and hop on the bus. If that doesn't happen, make sure you pause the video, right? You want to pause the video. You're going to click on your cat sprite. You're going to make sure your code looks exactly like this. Your sprite is at 50%. Okay, your property 50%. Direction -90. Make sure you can click on the direction that this icon is selected. Good. All right. And then let's go to the city bus. Okay, so the code you have right now for your city bus should look like this. Perfect. Pause the video, come up to speed. So now we're going to go ahead and add one more sprite to this party. We're going to add a hippo. And one thing I have to say is, okay, one thing I have to say is I want to say a massive thank you to raspberrypi.org because the content that I'm sharing with you today is Raspberry Pi is from raspberrypi.org. So if you want to go out and research what a Raspberry Pi is, go ahead and do that and show some support to raspberrypi.org community because they do a lot of great work to make teaching and coding accessible for free to kids. So you want to go out there and support them. All right. Now let's continue. Let's add a hippo to this party. If you remember how to add a sprite to your party or your code, I want you to pause the video and go ahead and try it. If you've forgotten, remember, choose a sprite. The cat, far right hand corner of your screen. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add a flying hippo. So you can type HIPPO. Oh, there you go. There's the hippo. So we're going to go ahead and we add the hippo. And again, you see the wings were moving. And the wings were moving. That tells you that the hippo has many costumes. In this case, the hippo has 2 costumes. So it shows open, close. And that tricks you into making it you think that the hippo is actually flying. So I'm going to go back to the code tab. And right now the hippo, come on, man, the hippo's so big. So let's go ahead and knock it down 50%. Okay, and then I'm going to enter 50, the properties here, right? Size properties, I'm going to 50 and I'm going to hit enter. So now my hippo is 50%. Let's stop the code. So my bus is back. The hippo is 50% in size. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to drag your hippo to the top of the screen. Go ahead and drag your hippo to the top of the screen. All right, so when your hippo is to the top of the screen, we're going to go ahead and add some code. Remember what we did for the positioning? Every code always needs, that's right, an event block, a trigger. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to leverage the same when click because when we click the green button, we want a sequence of event to occur at the same time. So we're going to say when click, we want some motion to happen. We're going to use the go to X, go to Y block. So I'm going to drag that from the motion, go to X, go to Y. And this time we're going to go to X minus 200. That's your X. Okay, so you can double click in the box. One thing my student had was I can't click in the box. Sometimes your num lock is on your keyboard. So instead of using the numbers on the right hand side, if you have a Windows keyboard, you might have to use the numbers on the top of your keyboard, okay? And that will help you get around that. So I'm going to do minus 200 for the X. And then the Y, I'm going to do 150. Okay? So go ahead and do that. Minus 200 for the X. and 150 for the Y. Okay, good stuff. Now, what did we do to get the cat sprite to look like it was running towards the bus? You remember? Hmm? That's right. We used a loop. And loop allows us to repeat the same code X amount of time. So we don't have to write the same code 100 or 20 or 30 times. We just put that inside a loop and the loop will execute the same code as many times as we tell it. So we're going to use a repeat loop. We're going to go to control. Okay. Control block. We're going to drag this block over here, repeat 10, and we're going to change the 10 to 100. So we're going to repeat this piece of code that we're going to put inside the block 100 times. Got it? Ready? Something we didn't use before in previous sessions, but we're going to use it now. You're going to go to motion, and we need the hippo to point towards the bus. So we're going to go to motions and we're going to find the block that says point towards mouse pointer. Okay, point towards mouse pointer. I'm going to click it. I'm going to drag it, hold down the mouse. I'm going to drag it over here. I'm going to go to the drop down and I don't want it to point towards my mouse. I want it to point towards the citybus. Okay. Notice when I click the play, pointed towards the citybus. That's what you want to see happen. Now that we're pointing towards the citybus, let's go ahead and scroll up and we're going to say move 3 steps. Move 3 steps. Remember the order, the sequence is very important. And you can play around with the sequence just so you see. Okay, so it's moving 3 steps. Right. Repeated that code 100 times. When it moved 3 times 100 steps, repeat this code 100 times, it landed here. Now, how do we get, but you notice it didn't look like the hippo was flying, right? Just boring. So let us animate the hippo. Okay, we're going to animate the hippo. We're going to go to looks. Awesome. And when we go to looks, we're going to scroll down to the bottom. And do you remember what block we need? We need the next costume block. So we're going to go ahead and click the next costume block and we're going to drag it out here. So the first thing we're going to do is when we start the code, let's stop this. When we start the code, we're going to point towards the bus, right? Point towards the bus. Then we're going to take 3 steps. We're going to change our costume. Then we're going to keep pointing towards the bus. 3 step, change your costume. So it's going to 3 steps change, open, 3 steps, close. So it looks like flying. By the time it gets to 100, it looks like let's take a look. Look, fly, 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 fly. See that? See that? See that? Great. Now, hippo's at the bus. Perfect. How do we get it to look like the hippo is in the bus? Remember? Give you a moment to think about that. That's right. Hide. We want to do the hide button. We're going to put the hide at the end right here. So I'm going to run the code. Let's do it again. Actually, let's save now. I haven't saved in a while, right? Let's save now. Project saved. Fabulous. Let's run the code. Yes, yes, yes. Bam! Looks like the hippo is in the bus. Now, when I stop the code, my hippo is missing. So what I want you to do is take a show block. Okay, I want you to take a show block and you're going to put it. So the code is when I click this flag, hippo, you're going to go to this position and then you're going to show yourself. So let's run it. That's right. That's right. Bam! Beautiful. Perfect. Now, I want you to take a minute. Let's move this over so you can see it. I want you to take a minute and make sure your hippo is selected and the code for your hippo looks exactly like my code. You guys are doing fantastic. Great job. And now you're up to speed with week number 3. The next video is going to be week number 4, and we're going to let the bus fly away, move away. Actually, it won't be week number 4, but the next step we will do is let the bus fly away. We extended the class last time, and the bus move-in was part of the session, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to stop it so you can take a little break. I'm going to have another video, and the bus is going to move away. Thank you for your time. Watch the next video. Keep going. Never stop learning. Use your imagination.